Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our uranium daily technical analysis update, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. So let's jump in. I'll give you my opinion here, and I'll let you know what I think. And again, guys, this is just my financial opinion. It is looking at the charts and deciphering where this thing could potentially go. I am not a seller. I'm a buyer, an accumulator, and this stuff's of really good value. It's of really good market conditions, market deficits out in the future. I am holding this for a long-term bet. This short-term stuff doesn't matter to me, but if we have a pullback, I'm going to buy more. I'm an accumulator. Buy the dips is my strategy here. Just wanted to let you know that. But here's the good thing, all right? We've broken this to the upside. It is moving sideways. I don't think we're just going to fall down with oil going higher. The overall energy complex is quite strong. So I don't think we're going to head lower, even though what I see in the charts is some selling pressure. And it could be false because I know ETFs do crazy stuff. And hopefully that's the case. They're just moving money around. But if we can get a little bit of buying pressure into the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we'll see where this goes. We'll see. And looking at URNM, it doesn't look horrible. And what I'm looking at, and let's zoom out here real quick, is we've got this line coming up, and we're right at the support line. And what I want to happen, let me kind of pull this down a little bit. Yeah, right in there probably. We're right at the support line, and if we can find some support here, this would be a really good time to be buying, to take the opposite side. Does it mean you go all in? If you've got a lot of cash, I probably wouldn't do that either. I would dip in, do your cost averaging in, dip in here. If you think that the long-term bull market is intact, I would dip in a little bit here. And then if we get a nice good buying pressure, you might see selling pressure come down and dip and put a big hammer pattern or a bullish engulfing here. That's where it's going to separate, we'll call it the more experienced investors versus the more novices, to look for a candlestick pattern that's a reversal pattern right here to get the best price possible. But it looks, there's selling pressure here. I am waiting for a turn, and that's really what I'm looking for. We haven't seen it yet. Bannerman got a little bit sold off. We were making some higher lows. It doesn't mean everything's totally messed up. Let's see what happens next trading day, which I think is Tuesday, because I think Monday we're closed. But we'll see what happens. There's a lot of resistance up here. You can see we've been trying to break it quite a bit. Goviak's a little bit of a sell-off. Usually you break out of these patterns to the downside. I kind of drew this in here, and hopefully we get basically right where it's at or a little bit below it. That's what I've got for the pattern I drew. Global Atomic, we came into this ascending wedge pattern into a bearish engulfing, which we came to the downside, and now we need to find support right where it's at. We want to find support here and not break to the downside. Forces Metals, we're just moving sideways. Nothing really to report there. Same thing with Pure Point, we're just moving sideways. Deep Yellow, yeah, we're getting a little bit of selling pressure, but we're still well within the pattern. Nothing really to worry about. Paladin Energy, yeah, we came up and hit this resistance area and are bouncing back off of it. That's fine. Sky Harbor, yeah, we're pulling back a little bit, down 3%. We're still above the support line. Everything is still intact, and this is usually they break out and they kind of sit up here for a little bit like this here. We came back, we came up, and we are contracting up because we're getting a little bit lower highs, a little bit higher lows into a corner here. So I would be a buyer in here. That's me. Next Gen Energy, a little bit of selling pressure here. I can see these big selling pressure down days. Hopefully we can find some support and we get some buyers to step in and reverse this thing around. Canalaska, again, we just got a small little down day here. And we just need buyers to step in. It's not, it's more of a sideways motion, if anything. Baseload Energy, a little bit of a sell-off today, as expected with this bearish engulfing. Let's see if we can find some buyers. It's got a little wick at the bottom, which means buyers did come in and buy a little bit. So that's good. But again, we got to wait and see what the buyers do. Fission 3.0, putting in a hammer pattern. That's what this guy is here. Yeah, it's got good support all through here, so it's going to find some support, hopefully, in there. Fission, here's your down move, but we got some buying pressure to move to push it back up. Let's hope that this momentum can continue to the upside and reverse this downward motion. Camco, again, we got a little bit of a down day. It's not too bad. There's not a ton of selling pressure here, so hopefully we can hold on. Kazatomprom not looking that great to be big selling pressure and ending low. So someone is definitely selling Kazatomprom. Peninsula Energy, hammer pattern, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it was a down day. It's right at that resistance area. It doesn't look bad. Boss Energy just chopping sideways. Lotus is hanging on above its downtrend line, support line. Again, this one doesn't look bad in here. Uroy, at least we got an up day. So we opened lower, we came back up. That's usually a bullish signal. We're right at support down here. So hopefully we can get some traction and move on up. Fingers crossed. Encore Energy, yeah, we got a lot of selling pressure up here, that's for sure. Hopefully we can hang on and reverse this still. It's just chopping sideways. We do have some support back here where it's at. Looking a little bit of selling pressure, not much. I would say today this is a win. URG, again, I thought it was going to come down and move on up, so we'll see where this thing is at. It's got some support down here. UEC, we're at support. Better hold on. A lot of selling pressure. I don't want this thing to just blow down to the downside. That's where our big support line is. So this is kind of a do or die. Well, not really, but we don't want to just blow down and just lose this support. We want to hold on and move on higher, if that's what you guys want, if you want to move higher. LEU, it's hanging on barely by like tooth floss or something. LTBR is moving down a little bit, maybe offering another buy point in LTBR. Sometimes these kind of move sideways a little bit before moving on up. ISO Energy, it's just hanging on to its support line. It's right there, kissing it. Man, this thing just wants to go even further. This is playing more games, just the tip, and going further into the tip. DNN, finding some support. It's got a nice good wick at the bottom. We're right at that support level for DNN, and hopefully it holds. Blue Sky Uranium, it's holding on. It's right at support. Forum Energy Metals, yeah, we popped down a little bit today with this bearish engulfing. We'll see where it heads, if we're going to fill this gap here or not. AEC, which is Anfield Energy, a little bit of a down day today. Again, it's a hammer pattern. Hopefully we can head higher. Laramide Resources, we're right at the bottom of its support line. Hopefully we can find some support and move on higher instead of breaking down. We're right at a lot of these areas. Western Uranium and Vanadium does not look good. It looks like it's selling off. It's definitely rolling over, and it's broken its lower trend line here. Hopefully that's not a leader of this sector, because usually some of the weak ones go first, the weaker companies. And this guy's holding on. It's still above support for UEXCF. And then Mega's getting a little bit of sell-off. It still looks good, though. We got a nice hammer pattern with the buyers coming back and buying it up. So that doesn't look horrible. So that's the overall uranium sector there, guys. We're right at support. Buyers got to step in. We got to see what happens. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust still looks good to me. So if we head higher there, I think it's going to pull the whole sector up. But we got to see it. It doesn't matter what my opinion is. It doesn't matter what narrative people spin. It doesn't matter what news comes out. We need buyers to step in to push prices higher or maintain a sideways movement. Sideways is buyers equal to sellers, but we need buyers to come in and move it higher. The sellers are there. I can see it in some of the charts. We can see it in the candlestick patterns. They're still there. So know that, be cognizant of it, and make decisions knowing that there's still sellers there. And what I do is I wait for the buyers to come back, and if I see buying pressure, the candlesticks will change where they got big buying pressure up days, smaller down days, and that pattern starts to change, then I become a bull. a bigger bull. I am long-term bull, guys. Short-term, we're going through some correction, still going through the correction phase, and hopefully we can get some buyers to step in and push higher. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.